Are you ready?
Seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts
right here, right
This
now.
is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
Gucci down to the socks like I'm Biggie Papa. Keep your girl here in my Tommy phone.
Made this deal with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside, when they pull up, they give me.
That shit crack. Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. That shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack.
What's going on, everybody? This is your main man, Smooth Baron, and you're tuned in to Hog HQ. Woo! Pig Sue! Wee! Go Hogs!
Toronto Raptor. Oliver Miller passing today. We send our condolences, thoughts and prayers to his entire family.
Oliver, man, he was a great kid. We would not have gotten to the finals without Oliver Miller. We would not have gotten there. He was terrific passer, had these really strange long arms that he played bigger than his size, but he was a great kid. And man, 53, 54 years, that's way too young to be passing away. So I just want to say, talking to all my other teammates, man, there was a rough week.
And get this, these two Hogs were both in the NBA at the same time for a short time. Coach Walker played from 83 to 93. In that 1993 season, he played for the Chicago Bulls. And you know who his teammate was? This guy, Michael Jordan. This is them after winning the 1993 NBA championship that year against Big O and the Phoenix Suns. There he is defending Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. That was his rookie season. He averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2.5 blocks.
What do you hope Razorback fans remember about Oliver Miller?
My smile. That's all. Every time I go back, I always have some fans like, you had the most wonderful smile. And I'm like, thank you. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep people happy.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Hog HQ Live, brought to you by the Hog Talk Podcast. And as always, you know how we do. Tell a friend, and we are back again with another episode going live, episode 63. As we started the show, you've seen the tribute to Big O Oliver Miller. Once again, condolences out to his family, his Razorback family as well. He will definitely be missed, a legend in the game when you talk Arkansas basketball. Once again, he talks about his smile, his personality, things of that nature. He was definitely loved by all. So like I said, he will definitely be missed. Like I said, that's too young for someone to be passing. So once again, we will definitely miss Oliver Miller and all that he contributed to the Arkansas Razorbacks basketball program and society. You guys got any comments on Big O before we transition to the show?
You can go ahead. I was just gonna say that's the era I started watching Arkansas with was him and Lee Mayberry and Todd Day, and the only thing I can think of when I think of him is the full court passes, just on the dime. You think he was a quarterback or baseball player in his past life or something, but great player. He played bigger than his size, like Charles said.
Right.
Man, it was just I hate to see him go, but a very memorable time in my life watching him and the Hogs back then.
You know, I was born in '87, so just like a lot of folks coming into that era of Arkansas basketball, professional basketball, being a Phoenix Suns fan, it's definitely, you know, somebody I've watched the majority of his career. You know, even he always was the one that he took the blame for his team if they performed bad or the team didn't win, whatever the case may be. He would put high stakes on the team, saying that we're going to go out and win this, and then if they didn't, he sheltered the blame. That was all on him. So he was one that always put his team first. I think over the years, you know, people make comments about whether his size or his this or his that, but one thing you could never do was take away his smile, which he's talked about, everybody talks about. And even before this last week, I don't recall ever hearing any of his former teammates having anything ill to say towards him, which in this day and age, you know, everybody's got something to say about everybody. So for that, it's, you know, a good thing, great thing. So, you know, it really, and I think a lot of fans had expected the possibility of something to happen with his ongoing health issues, but it just sucks when it actually hits.
Absolutely. So we had to throw that in there in the beginning, like I say, pay tribute to a legend in our Razorback community. But as we regularly do, I got to introduce the guys. This gentleman right here, this is Adam, and this gentleman over here, this is Mr. Hart, Mr. Sports Almanac, and I am DP. Once again, we're your host this evening. We are glad that you decided to spend your time with us on this Sunday evening to talk some Razorback sports. I definitely want to get into this real quick. So look. Justin, we kind of went, on your post. We're going to turn the damn jukebox on tonight. Yes, sir. We're going to definitely do that and talk about some basketball and talk about some baseball. It's a great time to be a Razorback fan and chime in. Once again, Ty, I'm going to speak to you early. Say, what the hell owe you with a higher seed? I understand. And they was we're going to definitely tap into looking at
Georgia.
We're going to look at each region, and we're going to kind of get into what we like, what we don't like, what may be some interesting matchups when we talk about basketball. Ty, as we talk about this, when we talk about baseball, let me know about the comment that you left in the group this week.
It was about Gabe Gackle, if we need a reminder.
Right. Did that one, Ty. So, tell us about why you felt how you felt. But look, we're going to go ahead and start the show. Before we do, y'all know how we do it. We got to pay some bills. Let's go ahead and get to it.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup, breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, NBA, to political props. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline. The game starts here.
All right, thank you to Bet Online for being a part of the sponsorship of this show. Transplant Texan, I seen you in here. I got to shout you out. You were definitely the first one to jump in. So definitely shout out to you. Salute to Big O Value of the first Razorback team. I followed after moving to Arkansas. That's what's up. It's all about creating memories at the end of the day. Let's go ahead and get into this lineup for tonight. Baseball. So we start SEC play this week. We talked about some of the previous games and how they need to get things in order, figure out what the lineups are going to be, figure out who are going to be your go-to guys. The Aloha brothers are doing what they do. It never seems to fail that somebody pops up and makes a name for themselves. Oh, who are that? I'm gonna tap into that. But we're gonna go ahead and get straight into baseball. Start the SEC series, and we do 2-1. Lose the game on Friday. Pop back. Bats get the batting. You feel me? Bats get the batting on Saturday, and take a big lead and go ahead and take off and take care of business, and then end up with a great close to the series with another win today. Let's go ahead and jump into these comments, guys, and figure out how we feel about the opening SEC play in baseball. Dave Van Horn and the guys. Hart, you want to start us off with that?
Yeah, well, dropping the first game was pretty rough. You just couldn't get timely hits, and then the last two games we got those timely hits for the most part. Yesterday we had 5 home runs, back to back to back with what was it, Davalon and the Aloy brothers, and then you had another back to back at the end of the game. So that was really good to see. And then you had today getting good hits, timely hits going the other way, hitting against the shift, hitting where they're not, and then of course you got Aloy brother again, Vahiva hitting a home run at the end to ice it, and it was nice to see us come back a couple of times against them and get the big victory.
So, speaking on what you saw in regards to how we played, what do you think about watching them play Ole Miss? Is Ole Miss somebody that we may have to look back at later on in the season to be competitive in regards to SEC tournament play?
They definitely got some hit. Yeah,
Okay.
they definitely will be. I think they'll make the tournament. I don't know about Omaha, but they'll definitely probably make the NCAA tournament. And they got solid starting pitching, and their bullpen is where we really did most of our damage against them. Their starting pitching, we didn't do that much.
Right.
Get a couple of runs, and that was about it. So I would say they'll be there. They got good hitters, as we saw. So I think they'll be in the mix.
Okay, cool. Adam, comments on the opening series, SEC series versus Ole Miss.
I'll just start with this one right here. Carson Wiggins out of Roland, Oklahoma, younger brother of Jackson Wiggins, who was former Arkansas pitcher. So I'm excited to see what he brings, not just this season, but in the future too. I feel like that starting pitching hurt us to begin the majority of the game, all 3 games. So that's something that I'm not so much worried about hitting at this point. I'm worried about pitching. So, the relievers, people coming in the middle, they're doing their job for the most part. I think they've got to figure out something with starting pitching. And we've got 2 games against ORU coming up Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. And then we've got the 3-game series this weekend. I forget who's coming in.
Yeah, so it's interesting that when we talk
South
about
Carolina.
Razorback, South Carolina. When we talk about baseball, we always talk about being ecstatic about the pitching and then worrying about the hitting. This time, it's a opposite. It's switch where we looking like we loving the bats, we loving not getting guys stranded on base, and now we worried about the pitching. But like I say, what's his name? Woods. What's his name?
Gage Woods.
Gage Woods.
Yeah. So he'll be back at some point. And like I said, he's not the only guy, but I think they'll do well over time. As I say every single week in regards to baseball, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So as long as these guys can continue to put things together, shout out to my sister for jumping on. But as long as these guys continue to put things together, of course, can't see us going. Well, we can't go undefeated at this point, even in conference play. But they'll lose some games. But as long as there are lessons they can learn from those games they lose, and then find a way to put it together towards the end of the season, going into tournament time, that's what's going to matter the most. So can't be too upset about that. Hart, you about to say something?
Yeah, I want to say congrats to Coach Van Horn for his 901st today victory with the Hogs. And I do have one question. Are we still wanting to get rid of Nate Thompson?
Ain't nobody saying nothing. You know, as Razorback fans, we love you till we don't, and then we ready to fire your ass. But like I said, they was trying to fire him heavy last year. We haven't had any issues in regards to bats and home runs and base hits. So I think at this point his job is safe per the Razorback fan base. So shout out to Nate Thompson. With that being said, hold on, transparent testing. Pitching is concerned, not bats right now. They breathe. Hey, a sigh of relief. Yeah, that's interesting. Nicholas had a comment here. Any updates on Thomas Jr. injury today?
Nothing that I've seen.
Gotcha. Justin, you gonna make me do that, ain't you? Because you know I'm excited about it. Fuck it. No, but Mike Neighbors is gone.
I wasn't even thinking about getting into that today.
No,
but...
hey, we're gonna get back into this baseball. But Justin, when I tell you we talked about this, 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? And then it happened during the week. The show before it happened, it was like somebody had a comment and said, "Is Mike Neighbors fired yet?" And we talked about it, and we talked about some possible replacements. Talked about some former players that were on the same team with Celia Anderson. I think it was a Tanel, and I can't think of her name.
Well, now there's 3 names that have been thrown out around whatever for replacements. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And as always, because Arkansas is never the first person.
No.
So don't get too excited.
GCU's coach was the first one that came out, the name that dropped, and then it came out that she wasn't going to. Who knows? That's either she's going to and they don't want to talk about it, or she's not going to because it's never the first one. Oral Roberts head coach, and then an associate head coach at Texas are 3 names that have been thrown around.
Interesting. So the whole comment I asked Ty about earlier, he was talking about his ERA.
I guess I should go back and read that comment thread just to
get some clarity.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing the post, but I didn't comment on it.
Too deep into it. Gotcha. Ain't nothing wrong with it, Ty. Thank you for answering my question. Trying to figure out what was going on with that. I do got a question in regards to baseball. So when will Diggs come out of his slump? Haven't heard anything from Diggs. Know that he was a bright spot when he got recruited, and just looking for him his bat to come alive, using his speed to turn those corners on those bases. When can we look for Diggs to come out of his slump and be a intricate part of this Razorback baseball team?
It's $1 million question.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those that you want to say any time, but who knows at this point. The good thing is there are others around him that are picking up the slack in the meantime.
Which is a great thing.
The guy that replaced him today, mid-game, came in, first at bat, got a hit, and I think it sparked one of our runs, one of our 4-run innings.
Yeah. So Gabe seemed to figure it out after the first inning. Yeah, Derek, it looks like a lot of times Dave Van Horn has a lot of faith in these guys if they're not playing their best. And just let those guys figure it out as they throw those pitches and make those mistakes. It's a good thing that helps with their confidence in the long run. Just allow them to stay on the field and make sure they do what they do and learn from their mistakes and continue to get better. So shout out to DVH and that. Once again, DVH, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when I first got into the group here, I did a list of top 5 coaches, Razorback coaches of all time. Dave Van Horn was on that list. So like I say, that continues to permeate today with his success and getting his 901st today. So shout out to that. Late show. Then he was
It was last show, yeah.
Yeah, it was last show. So yeah. Mike Neighbors, the €900 check of the "You Still Here" positive press headlines. Yeah, it's almost like he decided to step down as opposed to getting terminated.
I mean, did he not want a video to be released to go around like they did with Eric Musselman? That just makes everybody wonder.
Are you still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
he wasn't flirting with everybody.
No, because ain't nobody looking to hire his ass. I mean,
I feel like I need to go take that video, but put Mike Neighbors' head on Eric Musselman's.
That'll be hilarious. That's stuff you do when you get bored. So I can see that.
It is.
Yeah. What's crazy, y'all? We having this conversation. We doing this pod. He'll mess around. If you see him look off to the side like this, he's probably making it to be in the group in about 20 minutes. You just never know with this thing. You just never know. But you talked about Ole Miss and taking care of business there in the first SEC game. You got Oral Roberts coming in. You got South Carolina. Hopefully these guys can continue to figure things out. Like I said, at some point it'll come a time where we'll hit a slump as a unit, and then people will get frustrated and say they want to fire somebody and this person shouldn't be starred, et cetera, et cetera. Happens every year in every sport. So I'm just looking forward to when it does happen, and then all of a sudden you have to eat crow, as they say, at the end of the season when those guys are doing well and getting prepared for SEC tournament play, or Omaha and hosting regionals and looking to win the regional. We can't just be hosting and handing out hot dogs in the stands like football and not win the damn. Who?
Not apples.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Apples. I still want to know. I still want to know.
Yeah, what was going on with that? I feel like on the soundboard, since we're coming into baseball, or we're in baseball season, I need to get Peyton Manning yelling Omaha on the soundboard.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Food
I
for
like
thought.
it. I like it. So as we go ahead and transition out of baseball, any closing thoughts in regards to baseball and what you guys feel and what you see in your first series, SEC series?
Nah, it's all about just winning the series, not necessarily sweeping everybody. So I'd prefer to start off the series with a win just to take off some of the pressure, but at the same time, it's all about the series wins.
Yeah. Got it.
We trailed a lot. We trailed a lot this series, and they fought back. They battled back, and with the pitching is correctable, it's fixable, and I really think this team can make it to Omaha and do some damage if they don't have the injury bug hit them and stuff, and they just fix a couple little pitching spots. This team can go far.
Yeah, like I said, I just need us to be in that top 5, top 6 area. I don't need us to be number 1. I don't care nothing about being number 1, because if you're number 1 and then you don't win the whole thing, it doesn't even matter. So I could care less about the ranking. I just need these guys to be in contention in every single game. Any game they do lose, once again, it's an opportunity to learn from, and they can learn from those mistakes and then get better as we go week in and week out. Got a comment. William Brown said, if the GCU coach gets hired, I guarantee you ticket sales increase instantly. Somebody got to give me a visual. I got a feeling, William Brown. I got an idea of what you're talking about. Okay.
She's the one that everybody's like comparing to Livy Doon.
See, this is where y'all get me. I have no idea who the fuck that is. Hey, remember the video? Remember we talked about the coaches in the text group, and then you sent a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Is that her?
Yeah, the blonde.
Yeah,
and when I say that, I don't mean it to sound,
misogynistic.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, is she hot? Would you consider her hot? Because that's like,
oh yeah, and I told you she looked good.
Right, that's what you said. That's an honest opinion. So okay, all right, I get where you're going with that, William.
Here we go.
Souza seems to be trying to come out of the slump. Oh, that's okay. All right.
I mean,
Todd said, "William, be right. William, be right. Please let this young lady come on this court side and get these tickets sold."
All I'll say is, I mean, her and so she's from Springfield. She played for Kickapoo, which Bobby, I mean, you're not wrong. The people in probably the Fort Smith area know this a little bit better. Back around the mid 2000s, I believe the girls played at the Tournament of Champions that they have at UA Fort Smith, and Kickapoo would come down, and those games between Northside Lady Bears and Kickapoo were brutal. I mean, they were just, you had the top and the top. So they were great games. And shout out to Northside for winning another state title yesterday. Coach Ricky Smith's 9th state title. So that's always fun to see.
Gotcha.
Had to throw that in there.
Yeah, got to shout out the home team. Last I saw, ex-GCU coach was no longer in the running for the women's basketball coaching spot.
There's a lot of things that go around.
Just our luck.
Yeah, it's early. Look, transition out of baseball, you know what it is. Go ahead and stay tuned in, but y'all know how we do. We got to pay some bills from our number 1 sponsor. Let's get it.
Oh, let me find it first.
Now you got to find the shit. This is what I'm talking about.
Let's take a quick time out and talk about something just as important as Arkansas basketball, your home. Our friends over at Premium Supply are like the MVPs of home improvement. They've got everything you need to make your house a slam dunk. We're talking siding, soffit, columns, windows, doors, vents, decking, the whole playbook. Whether you're building from the ground up or just doing a little home court maintenance, they've got you covered. And with locations in Conway, North Little Rock, Russellville, and Jonesboro, there's always a premium supply close enough for a fast break. So if you're looking for premium products with premium customer service, make your next shot count and visit www.premiumsupplyllc.com. Premium Supply, where we treat each of our customers like one of the family.
Well, right now at Premium Supply, if you'll go to their website or their Facebook page or give them a call this week, they have a promotion right now for percentage of 5% off your sales if you mention Hog HQ. So right now, for a little while now, you'll have 5% off Premium Supply. Go to premiumsupplyllc.com, go to the Facebook page. It's time to get your honeydews done, springtime. Fix your siding, soffit, get your deck done. I'm gonna be doing my deck this spring myself, so call Premium Supply and they'll take care of you.
That's what's up. Once again, even if you call them, get a quote. Like I said, if you have ideas of doing some work, but you may not be in a financial situation where you can do it as of right now, call those guys and get a quote. Make sure you let them know that you heard about them through Hog HQ Live, and they'll take care of you with the discount. Justin got a question. Do you know the answer to this question?
She's the assistant coach at Baylor. Her name, Tari Cummings, I believe.
That sounds about right.
She was head coach at UFAS, and then she was, I believe, actually on Arkansas staff under our favorite, Jimmy Dykes. And then she left and went to Baylor, and she's been assistant head coach and director of recruiting down there.
And they get some ballers at Baylor, so somebody that's in charge of recruiting, we definitely gonna need that. I'm gonna get to that. So right before we went to it, I said let's pay some bills, and Adam couldn't find it. He said he was looking at the blonde coach, forgot about paying bills. Priorities. Ty be on you, man. Hey, Ty, you all right with me, Ty? I swear. All right, look, as we transition the show, we're going to go ahead and jump into basketball, which we all want to talk about and get into. Let's go ahead and get into this SEC roundup and talk about some of these scores. So, of course, this particular week, it was the men's basketball tournament. Arkansas did
scores on this stuff.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But we do know that Arkansas went and lost by what, a point?
3 points.
3 points.
83-80.
Yeah, 83-80 to Ole Miss, and that was the end of their run. Transition to the rest of the tournament. It was an interesting tournament, to be honest with you. Auburn and Ole Miss. I knew Auburn would take care of business. Excuse me. Oh, Lord.
Almost.
Yeah, thank you. See, you trying to be funny. All right. Texas and Tennessee. I knew Tennessee would take care of business. Missouri and Florida. And I'm going to get to Florida in a second. Kentucky and Alabama. So I kind of knew basically the home teams will take care of business. Once again, you went down to the semis, Auburn and Tennessee, which was a good game. Florida, Alabama, Florida got loose on them boys and left from where they was at. So once again, the SEC championship game was Tennessee and Florida. Florida did prevail as the SEC champions. And I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you guys. Like I said, I know early in the season, I didn't watch a lot of Florida. I didn't get a chance to see them a lot. But as the season went on, I got a chance to check out some Florida games versus various opponents, some guys they're supposed to beat, some guys they put up some great fight with and then end up winning or losing the game. Florida, to me, may be the best team in the country. And I don't know if that's SEC bias by me, but and this is the thing. Most teams have shooters, scores, etc. It's their defense. It's their ability to get turnovers. That's what I like about Florida. Like I said, it was intriguing. They got a lot of size on the team as well. So the interior, they play well on the interior. They stay on the boards. They push the ball down the floor. So they got a good concept of how they want to play and how they make teams play at their pace. So I like what I seen when I watched Florida play those last couple games. So shout out to Florida for doing what they need to do and go ahead and take care of business and basketball. Interesting. SEC champs. You looking for something over there? I'm ready for my next
something you said.
Something I said. Here we go.
Yeah.
You just never know. All right. Hold on,
I
transplant.
missed it.
It's song Interior Crocodile Alligator.
Did I tell y'all when he get bored, this type of shit he do? All right. William Brown said, Boogie return makes me nervous. The team finally has good chemistry. Do you think he will play the shooting guard spot or let DJ run the point? Adam, I do know we talked about that. We all talked about that in regards to what it would look like and some of the comments that he had with the coach and what it would look like in his return.
Let me switch this up. Yeah, because I mean, we know what the SEC tournament looked like, so if we want to move on to Boogie, we can. Like we've said previously, when it was the idea was being mulled around if he would, I've stood firm on this was going to be a reserve role. This is going to be relief coming off the bench. I was guessing anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes a game. It's not going to be in to take anybody's starting position. It's coming in to help to give these guys a break. You're taking a 7-man rotation to an 8-man rotation. You can give different looks. Well, maybe there's an off chance that Boogie gets hot and he stays in longer than expected. If that happens, great. This is a quote directly from Coach Cal earlier. Let me pull it up here. And this was on Ethan Westerman's Twitter page at 7:03. Calipari on Fland's return. The greatest piece of it was Boogie saying to me, I don't want to screw them up. I just want to help. And I said, well, you may play 10 to 15 minutes, but so what? It's not really changing anybody's role or what's going on. We just have an 8th man. I think people are overthinking him coming back. Yeah. This isn't to insert him into a starting role. This isn't to take anybody's position. This is a player that wants to come back and help his team in whatever capacity that is.
Yeah. It would be nice to see him come back with a changed mentality as opposed to pounding the ball and think about offensive prowess and think about it from a defense perspective. If I can get him and Billy Richmond on the defensive side to hold down some guards, that's definitely can change the mindset and the trajectory of the games. Looking at Ty's come in real quick. Hopefully Boogie comes in and helps stop our droughts. So Adam, I do know like the other day we was all in the group chat, and then you said something about what is it, the 8-minute drought?
So there's other little spurts that happen that we go scoreless 2-3 minutes here and there. But ever since, and I really started noticing that after Boogie went out with his injury, about the 8-minute mark down to about the 5-minute mark, either right at that or somewhere in there, it never fails during that stretch. Arkansas hits a drought. And we've seen it in multiple games where we're up double digits and we don't score, and the other team comes back in the game. We saw it against South Carolina, and it was over 10 minutes at one point without they're getting a field goal, and then 7 minutes with no points at all from the free throw, except from the free throw line. So that's happened more often than I think any of us would like. I think when you get into those droughts, we fall into this little game. A lot of teams do, but Arkansas especially. We start forcing jump shots. We start forcing threes. When you get into those droughts, drive to the basket.
Get fouled and go to the free throw line.
Go to the line and just try to break it up. Yeah. I think that helps more than calling a timeout to regroup.
Right.
Because I feel like you can at least get to the line, get the ball into the basket, and then kind of get something going. And I think that's something that, you could definitely look at somebody like Boogie to do. I think John L. Davis needs to do it. I think DJ Wagner especially needs to do it. But when you get into those droughts, stop looking for the open jumper and get to the rim. Yeah, because you're not a team that's very hot in regards to threes or jumpers. And I'm going to ask a question, and then, Hart, I'm going to talk to you real quick. Anybody heard anything about Big Z? Apparently he has a slight injury to his finger or something like that. He got a new fade. He got a fade. He got a little Boosie fade. He got a Kelsey fade. I don't know, but if he mixes that fade with the headband, it's over with. Over with.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna get this comment, Hart, and I'm gonna go to you in regards to how you feel about Boogie coming onto the team. Transplant Texan, if Hogs can take Ole Miss to the buzzer on a 24-hour turnaround, a 48-hour turnaround in the NCAA tournament will be more favorable, along with the extra body Boogie to help BR3 provide relief minutes for DJ and Nelly. Yeah. Also, Transplant Texan, Kyle isn't stupid. He knows the lineup that is working. The NCAA tournament just means more, and that's the SEC motto. And I get the feeling he wants to go as far as the team can go. He definitely has something to prove, seeing that he just lost to Oakland and Kentucky before he left. So yeah, he definitely has something to prove. And we also talked about our first little opponent in a doggone tournament. Ty said, you test doing free throws. Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, we talk about those droughts. If you drive to the rack, get fouled, make the free throw, even if you don't make both of them, one or two, at least you have some momentum and you can look at that clock and it stays kind of close. You call a timeout, slows down the momentum, if you ask me. Like I said, I coached a little bit, but it was middle school. Either way, I just feel like you got to keep momentum going, keep the chemistry going when the team is feeling what they're feeling. Get guys the ball on the inside, let them get to the free throw line, make free throws, stay consistent, and stay in the game. Hart, what you got before I get to the rest of these comments?
Yeah, as far as Boogie coming back, I think he's just going to spell maybe at the point some and maybe Nelly some. I think it's just going to be a variety of rotations of what we have depending on what the needs are in foul situation. With 8-man rotation, you can't afford to get too many people in foul trouble. Next you know, you're running all guards out there. So I think it's a positive, and I think one thing that I think people have PTSD with Boogie coming back is that they have burned in their head of 4 games where he played bad, but he was playing with a messed up wrist, and nobody was really talking about it until after it came out. But before that, he was playing pretty well. It was him and Theo that was kind of carrying us early in the season. Now he did get a little wild at times attacking the rim. He'd just throw it up instead of going up strong. We know that, but I think it's a positive. It's another body, a very talented one at that. And I just think he'll help us. Don't you, Adam? Don't you do it. But I think he will help us. I think he will.
Gotcha. I can dig it. Oh, it's the fade. Ooh, with the cross in the back. Okay, I like it. So let me ask you guys a question. We joke with each other. So I say, Adam, when you go to the barbershop, how do you ask for the haircut? What do you call it?
I just tell them I don't ask for anything. First off, they just know, but it's just a one faded up.
It's a one faded up.
I started a one and then I fade up.
Okay.
The actual haircut I have is called an undercut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hart, how you get a haircut? What you call it? What you call this?
I tell them, give me a half to a one, fade it up.
Hey man, when I tell y'all barbershop experience and my barbershop experience is totally different. We had this conversation before, and it's hilarious.
When I first moved back to Fort Smith, I was about one of the only white guys that went to the barbershop that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last several years, that's changed.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me see. This is, we said get a number 2 on the top and a 1. All right. This is what I would call, it's not a burst fade. It's not a temp fade.
It's not a taper.
It's not even a taper because the taper is just the corners. Yeah. So it's a fade all the way around. So I'm gonna call this a mid. No, it's a mid taper. I'm gonna call it a mid taper. If it's a ball fade, it's like a little boosted fade. It's ball all the way around. So it's not a little boosted fade. Got the go-to plate of chicken is a steak. You know what? I have no idea what you're talking about.
That would just make me assume that there's a to-go plate of chicken at the barbershop.
That's what's up. I don't know what that means. I don't feel
like I can elaborate on that. So
it's probably best not to. Yeah. We'll talk about it off air because we could do that. I do want to get this. Now that we know the brackets, what do you think about Chris Beard's comments on Arkansas being a second weekend team? Great question, Nicholas.
at this point, I feel like, I mean, it's respect on Chris Beard's part, especially after the way we just played him. Also, Chris Beard is probably a little bit salty at how Bruce Pearl talked about Chris Beard's guards post game. So, praise one coach while, being irritated with another. This is the time of year, I mean, nobody's going to underestimate anybody in this.
Correct.
So, at the same time, you don't necessarily come out and like talk shit towards the other coaches. You just say good things about the coaches that you like or the teams you like or whatever. So I feel like at this point, like everything for the next month is going to be mind games, essentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of that is just coach talk, trying to get more teams from the conference in too. A lot of times, just trying to talk them up. Oh, I think that team deserves to get in. And it's just coach speak.
We got what, 14 teams in? SEC got 14 teams.
Yep. Most ever. Then you had. First off, I'm going to go on my little. I wish I brought my petty AF hat in here. All right, so one reason why I don't think that you have active athletic directors on these committees is then you had UNC, who I'm sorry if an AD says that they have to step out of the room while this decision's made, that they're not a part of it. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, shape, or form that North Carolina should even be in a play-in game in this tournament. You're giving them the benefit of the doubt because they're North Carolina. They're a blue blood. They are historically great, whatever. But the fact that your AD is on this selection committee and you got in going 1-12 in quad one games.
Yeah.
Garbage. I would rather see Arkansas State, who went 1-1 in quad one games.
Yeah.
In this versus North Carolina.
2 years ago in the football playoff, didn't Alabama get in, and then Florida State felt like they got shitted on because they didn't make it because their quarterback got hurt, and they said they gave Alabama benefit. It's the same concept. It's like you said, it's a blue blood. You just feel like it's good for ratings, it's good for showing. So I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand exactly why they did what they did in that regard. Hart, you about to say something?
I'm just sitting there thinking of how we've had Jeff Long and Hunter Yurchek on committees, and we've never been in that situation. That sucks.
Yeah. I don't think we have the cachet at the time to make those particular moves.
And if anybody doesn't think this right here, Patino Vizcal would be awesome. This, because as the bracket's coming out, which we'll just go ahead and throw up the whole bracket on here.
Let's do it.
As the bracket was coming out, I'm sitting here watching. I honestly thought that, in which we're going to break down region by region here shortly, but when they were at Lexington and I saw that 10 spot was coming up, I was like, oh, they're going to put Cal in Lexington. It's about to happen. But they didn't. Then whenever ours came out, think about this for a second. You've got Bill Self versus John Calipari. And then assuming St. John's wins, you've got Rick Pitino. So as it was, I believe Ty asked on Hog Talk, and we looked it up, and between those three coaches, over 2,500 wins. Each of them have over 800 wins each. So you've got that in itself. But then you've got Vice TV, who has a docuseries going on this whole season, started in February. One over Coach Calipari, one over Rick Pitino. How fitting would it be for that docuseries for them to meet in the second round? Because this is an ongoing docuseries. This is in season.
Right.
So the whole thing, I'm just like, it's pure cinema is what it is.
Entertainment value is where we are at this point. Hello.
Ty, you let us know what he should get, how he should get his haircut, where he should go. Recommendations.
There you go. Did see the information. So Arkansas versus Kansas, prime time Thursday at 7:10 p.m. Yeah, it's prime time. CBS, the flagship station for March Madness, because you don't put Kyle on TBS. It doesn't get any better. Yeah, I agree with it. Like I said, I think that's dope. Being who Kyle is and knowing that these matchups will bring in a lot of views. You make it prime time so everybody get a chance to see it, coming from work, pick up the kids from daycare, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's going to be a big deal to see those guys play in that particular slot. Big East of the South. Yeah. UNC, Blue Blood Charity Seed. Absolutely. I definitely think I've seen the Virginia Tech. Yeah, Virginia Tech definitely enjoyed. They should have had that spot over UNC. As I said, they just gave them the benefit of the doubt with that. Thank you for watching, and you can hit the like button, please, and thank you. All right, you got the breakdown of the particular regions, so we can jump
which
into
one
that.
you want to start with?
It don't matter. I know we're gonna do ours last, the one that we in last.
Let's go with the South.
Okay. Alabama. So we the number one seeds in each region is very good. I think it's gonna be good matchups, but it's gonna be a team. It's gonna be a team like Iowa State, like Marquette, like it's gonna be some teams, some mid-major teams that's gonna go ahead and make some noise. This is gonna be interesting to watch. Bruce Pearl, that Louisville and Chris. I don't know. 8-9, that's a nice matchup. UC San Diego. UC San Diego is fine. I don't know if nobody ever watched them, but they fine. So for Michigan to get them, well, they got screwed in that one.
I think Ole Miss might need to watch out.
Yes. Ole Miss, definitely. San Diego State.
That's the play-in game.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Yale over Ole Miss right now. Ole Miss just not impressive to
Yale
me.
and Texas A&M. Sorry, misread that.
Yeah, Yale and Texas A&M. Yeah, I like Yale over A&M. I still do.
I'm not sold on Texas A&M. And then out of this one, I think, which shout out to Tom Izzo for 27 straight NCAA tournaments.
Yeah.
For this one, I think I could see Creighton over Louisville. I can see UC San Diego over Michigan.
Yeah.
I still think out of this, it's going to come down to Auburn or Michigan State.
So real quick to that Michigan, UC San Diego. UC San Diego got some veteran leadership guard play. They like to spread you out. Michigan got two dudes. Got me. Michigan has two 7-footer dudes who just basically play in the paint. They play well. Like I said, they're kind of versatile to be tall dudes that just play in the paint. At the same time, I feel like UNC San Diego is going to be one of the teams who they're going to have a high level of assists in this game, because once you pass that ball enough times, you got enough guys reaching, you can't catch them. You're going to end up at the foul line. If you're a tall dude to just play in the paint, I don't think you can make it. That may be McNeese State is my sleeper team.
Isn't that Will Wade's team?
Yeah.
McNeese, yep.
Yeah. Will Wade, somebody looking to hire Will Wade. Somebody looking to hire Will Wade next year after this particular tournament runner.
McNeese State, took the lumps with all his BS, the games he had to sit out last season, 5 or 10 or whatever it was. So,
and he turned it around.
Paid his dues.
He definitely did his thing. Yeah, this is an interesting bracket. I like Iowa State as well. Anything else on this bracket before we continue?
I think Tennessee and A&M just got a hard time. I don't know if they're going to make it out of the first round.
Tennessee and A&M?
I mean, I said Tennessee. I meant Texas A&M. A&M and Ole Miss. That's what I meant.
Just because we SEC biased, I just want to go with the best team. So the hell with that. I don't think I understand why we got 14 teams because of who we play in conference. So that was enough. I don't know if Auburn comes out of this bracket. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if Auburn comes out of this bracket, to be honest with you. What you got in the next bracket, sir? H-Town, Houston. Yeah. I like Houston. See, Georgia. I can't see Georgia getting past Gonzaga. It just don't make sense.
Caleb Battle's going to go off.
He definitely going to go off. Who else I like out of this? We play Illinois, so I definitely know what they look like. Texas, Xavier.
Could Kentucky get upset by another 14 seed? They'll say no because Coach Cal's not there.
There you go.
But Mark Pope has also never won an NCAA tournament game.
This is fact.
So take that for whatever you'd like.
I like Houston. I like Clemson. I like Tennessee.
I feel like this one's mostly chalk outside of the possibility of McNeese over Clemson, but I think everything else is top seeds go.
Yeah.
And this is going to come down to Houston or Tennessee, and I think that all depends on which Tennessee team shows up, because they have had some Jekyll and Hyde moments.
Yeah, true.
I feel like this is kind of the weaker of the 4 brackets, to be honest, with the teams and stuff. Just the way I saw it.
Yeah, I can see that, but just as we say that, it'll be a team like McNeese who may come out of the woodworks. If Troy beats Kentucky, like, who knows? I've never watched Utah State, but I do remember watching UCLA when they played USC. The way Troy ended the run against A-State, Kentucky may be in trouble. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. It's very possible that it could happen. Also, Yale is Ivy League textbook shooting. Absolutely. That is definitely old school shooting.
Nope, that's theirs.
That's theirs.
Nope, that's theirs. There we go.
Like Ty said, you was looking at the blonde coach. All right. Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag and Duke. Duke is always a favorite. Mississippi State, Baylor. I think that's going to be a great matchup. I think they match up very well. I like that. Haven't seen Liberty play at all. I have seen Oregon play. Arizona. I think Arizona is a fraud. I definitely think they're a fraud. I like Akron to make a run in this particular bracket. BYU and VCU. I think I like that matchup as well. I watched Wisconsin in the championship game. Wisconsin got some hoopers. So I definitely want to see what Wisconsin going to do. St. Mary's is always a team. St. Mary's and Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt should be a 10 seed.
Right.
I feel like because OU getting a 9 seed, Vandy getting a 10. I mean, some of the seeding was just kind of weird.
I think it was about storylines.
To get 14 teams in. I mean, that's why you got Texas in a play-in game, but it still counts towards the 14 total.
Justin, great question. Caleb Love, who left North Carolina to go to Arizona, and he been average ever since. Average at best. If y'all know Kevin Samuels, then you know. But I'm just saying, I just don't feel like they can be that team. I watched them in their conference tournament. I don't think they're the team that we used to watch back in the day.
No.
They're nowhere close to. No. Anybody see a sleeper in this particular region?
Yeah, I haven't watched much of Oregon this season.
Okay.
I'm with you that I don't think Arizona's it.
And the way Alabama got whooped,
they score a lot of points, but they've been dipping lately.
Right.
In the last few weeks
against better opponents, guys. And I think Grant Nelson, who went off. Yeah, so he got injured the other day in the game, and that was a game they got blown out the water by Florida. So it'll be interesting to see if he's back in the tournament, to see what the team can look like with him back, and if he's at 100%. So that'll be interesting to see what Alabama looks like. But we've seen Alabama play throughout the year. They played great against Auburn in that last game. So I don't know. And that's one of those questions just as I'm asking as well. Which Alabama team shows up as well when it comes to that? So we'll see when it comes to that.
And just so everybody knows, there is a Hog Talk Hog HQ Live ESPN tournament challenge bracket. It's posted in Hog HQ Live or Hog HQ group and on Hog Talk. Does have a password on it for Hog HAWG. There will be prizes to the top 3. We will beforehand. I think we'll release that next Sunday. What those are going to be. But yeah, get in and join the fun and win something.
Yeah, everybody got to fill out a bracket. I mean, it's just, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually women who don't even watch sports,
they just start picking. Right? They just want to know colors, mascots.
Yeah,
and
they have cute colors. I like their mascot. It's cute, and they pick some of the best damn brackets. So I'm about to have my wife go ahead and pick my bracket.
I think some people overthink it. I know I usually end up making like 3 different scenario ones.
Facts.
I do an all chalk that never happens, and then just a bunch of random.
I'm gonna take yep, I'm gonna show you something in a minute. Now this is what's interesting. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan by nature. Transplant Texan, Cooper Flag. The way he got rolled out in the wheelchair, it was kind of soft to me. If his leg is intact, I don't understand why he was in a wheelchair. Either way it go, I hope that we see him play in the tournament.
Yeah, they've already said he'll play.
Yeah. Oregon or Wisconsin. That's a great question, Justin. I like Wisconsin better. They play with a lot of grit. You know what I'm saying? They play they guards get boards. Those guys can run a hell of a half court offense. They can maintain the tempo of the game and put it, and then they can get to the free throw line. So I definitely like Wisconsin better in that regard. How bad is Scoop Flat ankle injury? Has anyone heard a report? Haven't heard a report.
I've heard he's playing. So
Justin said the same thing I'm thinking. He pulled a Paul Pierce. Dude, it's really soft. It's really soft.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. VCU could go on a run too. Absolutely. Shaka Smart is at VCU. Is that Shaka Smart? Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's back there, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a quote the other day also about NIL agents, players, whatever. Basically telling his like his players don't need to have agents. He's not going to talk to any of them. And whatever else. I don't know if that was during the season, if that's now that they're in the tournament, if that's post-tournament, but he is very seemingly against the whole agent thing, doing this business.
He's at Marquette. Thank you for that, Justin.
Oh, shout out. Thanks. He was at VCU.
Yeah. All right. Can we go to our region? I know you're looking for something over there.
Am I? Which one are we in? One.
We're in the
this one.
No.
West.
West.
Florida's dangerous.
I think Florida's the best team in the country, to be honest with you. And in the tournament, it's great because any team, if they play their best game on that particular day, they can win. I'm very heavy on Florida. Oklahoma, I don't even know how the hell they get a 9 seed.
No clue. I'm going UConn there, back-to-back champions. I know they've had a off season, but they know how to win there. Hurley does. So I think they win. I think Memphis beats Colorado State. I'm going to go for the shot right here. Grand Canyon over Maryland.
Wait a minute. Maryland got a nice squad out of all the teams. Okay. No, that's cool. I'm going to go with Maryland winning and making a run, but I am going with Drizzy Drake.
I
am going with Drake.
They're 30-3, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I am going with Drizzy Drake to be the team that people like, who the hell is that? And who was
I just want to point out, too, number 14th seed here. For all the people in the beginning of the season when you're questioning, like, the non-conference schedule, these are the teams that we schedule. But everybody's just like, why are we playing them? They're in the tournament. They're teams that, end up there, not year after year by any means, but they're good teams.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there when we question the non-conference schedule.
Arkansas versus Kansas. This is going to be.
Take the exhibition game out of your head.
Yeah, that don't count.
That don't count. This game, I know there are some KU fans that are concerned with Boogie coming back, but that's just because he cooked him in the exhibition game. So
you going Colorado State over Memphis?
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Fighting words on this side of the part of the state.
Yeah, and I've seen Colorado State and Memphis play. I can see it. Tournament time comes down to senior leadership, guard play, defense, and being able to have a high IQ and win down the stretch. So whoever can do that is definitely possible. And then you got UNC Wilmington over Texas Tech. Interesting take, Justin. I can't wait to see what your bracket look like, sir.
Hello, you play to win the game.
And that's all we're saying. All right, anybody? I have no idea who was on Omaha team. I didn't even know they had a team.
No, but another perfect spot for Peyton Manning, Yale, Omaha.
There you go. There you go.
No, St. John. I mean, I'm looking at Florida coming out of this one.
Yeah. Carter Knox dropped an NIL paid partnership video for Wingstop on his Instagram 3 hours ago.
Shout out to Carter Knox. I got 3 Carter Knox autograph cards coming in the mail this week.
Gotcha. You don't need all 3 of them, but I digress.
Hey, somebody beat me out on 2 bids.
Gotcha. All right. Any comments in regards to this particular bracket? I got Florida. I got Florida all the way to the Final Four. As of right now, until I sit down in front of this computer and actually type up one, I got Florida going all the way in the championship game.
You're just not a true fan then.
Okay.
I'm not picking Arkansas.
No. You're not a real fan. Yeah, I remember that. Hart, you about to say something? Go ahead.
I was going to ask, how far do y'all think we go?
Let me look at this for real.
Honestly, I think it's going to be within the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I do that.
And that's not I get into this set, which SEC tournament being like back-to-back days is one thing. At least they're getting days and breaks in between games here. But as this goes on, the grind of this, I think if it came down to Arkansas and St. John's in the second round, I think it's in their favor.
It's going to be a lot of...
And honestly, St. John's could, I'm not going to say easily come out of this bracket, but St. John's is another team to watch out for to be in the Final Four. And,
really good.
Something to look out for too. And I talked about this on Hog Talk. We're all, pro John Tyson for the NIL, for bringing Cal, all that. But Body Armor, their CEO just told Patino and St. John's, whatever y'all need, I'm good for it. So now you've got Arkansas once again leading the way with something like this, but you actually have somebody outside of the school that actually have to make it worth the while because your athletic director in NIL program can't. But yeah, you're going to start seeing these other companies. We're seeing James Harden tell Arizona State, whatever y'all need. You're seeing former players become GMs or assistant GMs rather. Steph Curry, more or less, I look at what Steph Curry's doing is more of an ambassador role for Davidson.
Right.
But the playing field is growing with all these CEOs coming in saying, yeah, whatever y'all need.
Speaking of that, I know we didn't touch on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. Shout out. We finally got a GM.
Mm-hmm.
We got a GM.
Remy Cofield.
Yep. That left the Boston Celtics
mm-hmm.
to come to Arkansas and be our first official GM. It was amazing to me. Go ahead and talk about it, but I'm gonna say something. It was amazing to me how many people was like, what does he do? It was almost as like, and I didn't like this shit. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's almost like you thought his ass wasn't qualified. It was like, so what does he do? It was like, well, I thought that was athletic director job. I'm like, y'all didn't even give a shit. Y'all didn't even know we didn't have a GM. And you wonder why NIL looks like it looks in regards to football and how you're not getting certain players and how your coach has not been able to be successful year after year. You didn't even know we didn't even have one. Then we get one, you ask a million damn questions and ask, well, I thought that was athletic director's job. Y'all got to be more informed. And on Hog HQ Live, we try to get you guys informed, but some of y'all just got all the damn answers and don't know shit. It's out of control. You got to start listening, man.
Tell me how you really feel.
That's how the fuck I really feel. Arkansas, how I do football 6. Hell yeah. So I'm like,
and then I saw the numerous comments on, does he have Arkansas ties? Who fucking cares?
Who cares?
Like, if you want Arkansas ties, he helped draft Jordan Walsh.
There you go.
There's your Arkansas tie.
There you go.
He helped build an NBA championship team. And I know some did ask, like, is this just for, no, it's for all sports. This is somebody that is going to be, he's taking pressure off of coaches to deal with NIL, transfer portal. There's not a whole lot of like close connection with athletic directors and players.
Right.
So this guy, because I saw some people, wasn't that Hunter Yurachek's job? No, it's not. There's Hunter Yurachek's job is to run everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now this guy's job is basically just kind of over the players. And each team, each program, so basketball, football, baseball, they all have their own like directors of player development or this, that, and the other.
Correct.
So I'd look at more or less as Remy Cofield as being above them in just the hierarchy of the interactions with players and whatnot. This is somebody that's going to kind of be the liaison, if you will, between players, coaches, agents. Coaches don't need to be dealing with this. This is why the general managers have to come in.
And then you can't have a coach like Coach Pittman who was against NIL in the beginning, and you wonder why you can't get these high-profile players. He wasn't really with it in the beginning, and then he recognized that every other team that we play on our schedule is passing us up in regards to NIL opportunities. So at this point, I remember him saying in his presser, you know, and so many guys be like, well, Coach Pittman won't give me this and he won't give me that. I'm like, now we have a GM who can actually facilitate those conversations and bring in quality players and make things work. So now Coach Pittman can strictly focus on doing what he does with the program and focus on getting that offensive line better. Because if he don't, Taylor Green is going to be a track star. But he's a basketball guy. How is he going to be the GM over football? Says people who don't realize sports-specific assistant GMs are going to be hired. The GM is strictly the money man. He the bag. He gonna tell you how to get to the bag and get your players. You need that. A lot of teams that we play, you wonder why Georgia keep getting who they're getting, Texas keep getting who they're getting. They've been had these pieces in place. We came out with Arkansas Edge and said, hey, we're gonna pioneer this thing, and got left in the damn dust. So we are finally trying to catch up. I say every year, Coach Pittman is a year behind on everything. He decided he wanted to do NIL. He wanted to do transfer portal. He finally came to grips with that. He finally decided he was going to help coach the offensive line. You the damn offensive line guru. How the hell you just now decide a year ago, I'm going to work with the offensive line after you let Coley Kennedy run your team in the ground for 2 years straight? But I digress.
Hey, speaking of, spring practice started, so hopefully we'll be having some stuff coming out of that. But just touching you bringing up Coach Pittman and the transfer portal. And this was a conversation between me and some buddies earlier, but Arkansas was first in the SEC with most transfer outs.
Yeah, it was like 35 this past
31,
season. Something like that.
And then we have another transfer portal after the spring game.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there's a lot of praise on like who Pittman brings in, but when you're forced to bring in people because you had 31 players leave, it kind of.
Oh, he died live.
I mean,
oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah.
Hey, you know who else uses a check? I'm not going to go there.
You know what? Please don't.
I'll say it after the show.
Jordan Anthony won a track event, 60 yard meter, 60 meters.
60 meter.
Yeah. Now we had a dude on the team last year who they told me he ran 21 miles per hour. He now goes to another school.
So Tanya was a track star.
That's what I'm saying. That's
I thought you were talking about like the other 21, 22 mile an hour guys.
It don't damn matter because we seen in the combine all them Texas boys running 23, 24, and we don't have anybody like that. I'm saying that to say this, Justin. You got a guy like that who has world-class speed. Can we design some plays for him on the football field?
He needs a whole package designed around just him.
Yeah.
Again,
that's all we ask.
You have Petrino, you have the blueprint for Jarius Wright, for Joe Adams, for all these wide receivers that he had. Use it in the same capacity like you should have done with Satania.
Now he's going.
And also, shout out to Braylon Ursel for dropping 15 pounds. I think they said he was down to 238.
He said he cut down on his snacks. I ain't mad at it.
Hey, it's all you got to do sometimes.
There you go. Discipline. Guys, as we're getting ready to get up out of here, are we missing anything we tell the people and have a conversation about? They play favorites. I'm not. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Anything we missing throughout the week? Anything we can look forward to going into next week?
We got Arkansas and Kansas playing Thursday night primetime. Wild Hog,
yeah,
Blazing Hog.
Hey, whatever works.
And then get an NIL deal with Buffalo Wild Wings for their Blazing Wings. Boom. Had a whole campaign for you.
Yeah, you could have been the GM. You still got the offensive line eating rice barbecue.
You know.
Yeah. Get them boys some Ram trucks or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
He announces on 4/1.
Derek.
April 1st. This is his announcement day. So no, I mean this week's just get ready, get your brackets in, get ready for March Madness. Everybody that was affected by tornadoes this last weekend, thoughts are with you. Any family members or you yourself, definitely sucks. It's that time of year.
Yeah, definitely the time of year when the weather comes. And even down here in Georgia, we got some weather. We got the outskirts because I called my guy in Huntsville and we kind of chopped it up about it. We just had the outskirts, a lot of heavy winds, strong winds, and some rain. So everything worked out fine down here. But like I said, it's that time of year. Like I said, people run into situations where it's unfortunate. Like I said, please be thankful of your neighbor. I mean, be appreciative of the people around you. And if you can help somebody, please reach out and give a helping hand. I do want to say this. YouTube, if you're watching from YouTube, thank you. I think I seen Transplant Texas watches us on YouTube. It was somebody else that was watching us earlier that I meant to mention. Nicholas. So if you're watching from YouTube, I have a record break from tomorrow work. Hell yeah. So if you're watching us on YouTube, I was talking to somebody about the other day. You just hit subscribe. And when you hit subscribe, guess what? It's free. It's free. The economy is kind of interesting these days. I don't know what your bank account look like. I don't know what your taxes look like. But I do know that our YouTube, to view us on YouTube, it is absolutely free. Free 99. Also, when you do that, hit the notify me button, the bell. Once you do that, anytime we go live, it will notify you and let you know that we are on. So you won't miss a show when we do what we do. With that being said, we're going to get the hell on, guys.
Since we didn't have as many people on in the beginning as we do now, we will exit with Oliver Miller's tribute video.
All right. We out of here. Y'all have a great week. Check out for Big O.
Toronto Raptor. Oliver Miller passing today. We send our condolences, thoughts and prayers to his entire family.
Oliver, man, he was a great kid. We would not have gotten to the finals without Oliver Miller. We would not have gotten. He was terrific passer. Had these really strange long arms that he played bigger than his size, but he was a great kid. And man, 53, 54 years, that's way too young to be passing away. So I just want to say, talking to all my other teammates, man, there was a rough week.
And get this, these two Hogs were both in the NBA at the same time for a short time. Coach Walker played from 83 to 93. In that 1993 season, he played for the Chicago Bulls. And you know who his teammate was? This guy, Michael Jordan. This is them after winning the 1993 NBA championship that year against Big O and the Phoenix Suns. There he is defending Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. That was his rookie season. He averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2.5 blocks.
What do you hope Razorback fans remember about Oliver Miller?
My smile. That's all. Every time I go back, I always have some fans like, you had the most wonderful smile. And I'm like, thank you. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep people happy.